Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another edition of MidRank Madness. Today we've got a game between SumphoniC and IvyMike on Backwater, the Ladder Edition. In the top left-hand corner of the map, we've got the red Protoss player. It is SumphoniC from DDTV, which, I mean, what, Dangerous Dave? Dangerous Dave TV? Sure, that works for me. That is an old school game. It used to run on DOS. For those of you who were around to remember that sort of thing, my uncle had it. He used to go visit my cousin and hang out, and on the computer was Dangerous Dave. It was one of my first side-scrollers, I want to say. Anyway, good times, good memories there. And in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, it's going to be the blue Zerg player, IvyMike, from Valley DG. Alright, so apparently, SumphoniC went random, because he announced what race he was at the beginning of the game. I'm kind of coming around to the idea of going random and announcing your race. Going random, I think for a lot of people, is not about being sneaky. It's not about having the advantage on your opponent and forcing them to scout. It's just trying to get good at all races of StarCraft. And you know what? Laddering is random. I respect the crap out of that. If you're doing that, more power to you. And if you're announcing it before the start of the... I mean, right after the start of the game, then I respect that as well. So that is, by golly, a Nexus first out of SumphoniC. Holy smoke. SumphoniC into Gateway here. He is not worried about the Zerg at all. And in fairness, he really shouldn't be. The pool is just now going down. IvyMike complains that he made too many overlords. And this is MidRank Madness. If this is your first time here, it is my weekly examination of gold, platinum, and diamond level replays sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com. So this is gold. Gold level today according to the loading screen. But again, the loading screen lies. I'm not sure if they fixed it since, but last time I checked, the loading screen will show the MMR portrait of your highest race. So if you're diamond level Terran, but your Zerg is horrendous, you queue into a game as Zerg, it's going to go show diamond level Zerg. Which, I don't think it matches you up against players who are also diamond level, right? It matches you up with MMR, but the portrait stays the same. So it just kind of makes it hard to know exactly what's going on here. If you ever match up against somebody who has a higher level portrait than you, don't freak out about it. Don't freak out about it. It could be off racing. It's not necessarily Blizzard intentionally trying to ruin your day by matching you up against a Masters level player when you're in gold. Man, that's happened, though. That has happened before. I'm not sure if it's happened recently, but I've definitely seen some stories. Anyway, MidRank Madness is just here to see what's going on in the largest segment of StarCraft 2 ladder, because this is where everybody is. This is where, like, at least half the player base lives in gold, platinum, and diamond. It's hard to get into Masters. It's fairly easy with any consistent play to get out of bronze and silver. So this is where we live. This is where people like me live. I'm Diamond 2 right now. I'm not exactly killing myself to get to Masters just because I know how hard it is. And I don't have the time to do it, but I do feel good about getting replaced back into Diamond and playing a few games here and there every season just to give my self-esteem a boost. You hold the line, Bob the Zealot. You hold the... Oh, Bob the Zealot. You're not holding it very well, though. Oh, are they going to get through? Good micro. Moving the wounded Lings back here. Oh, anyway, two of them. But two... Now the Lings are in. The Ling Flood is here. Stalkers. Stalker pinning himself into a corner. Excellent job. Getting surrounded by Lings is the worst thing you can do. So anything you can do, put yourself in a corner, you should do it. Oh, but the Stalker ends up going down. Anyway, speed comes up on this Ling. Okay, Probe's got to fight. And they are. The Probe's pretty good fighters, actually, against Lings. SCVs, too, in small numbers. So they clean it up. There's a cannon coming up here for... It's not even a wall. Man, if there were about 20 more Lings behind this, SumphoniC would be dead. I like what IvyMike did. He put the pressure up there, but as soon as he broke through, I really feel like he should have just made a round of Lings and sent him up and said, I hope you don't wall off. But then it's a gamble, right? Because then if the Protoss does wall off, you just have a ton of Lings that aren't doing anything. It's hard. It's hard to know exactly what to do in these situations, but IvyMike could have won this game in about 4 minutes. I'm just saying the window was there. SumphoniC got his Bob the Zealot up here. You know what's better than Bob the Zealots? Adepts. Adepts are actually better than Bob the Zealots. So making Adepts versus Zerg is going to be a lot better, at least in the early game here. Zealots with charge, really great, actually, against Zerg players who are going for a heavy Ling Hydra style. You would think Hydralisks have range. Zealots do not. Hydralisks win, but in this lower level where Hydras aren't necessarily going to be microed all that well by the Zerg player, Zealots with charge get right on top of those Hydras, close the distance very quickly, and hack them to pieces with those Psyblades, which are so cool. So cool, the Psyblades. I like how they're just always on, right? You never see one power down and just eat an apple or something. It's like, I don't need this up all the time. No, they're ready for battle. They are ready for battle at all times. A changeling from IvyMike. Oh, look at the response from SumphoniC, though. Okay, I'm doubly impressed here. IvyMike made a changeling. We don't see that a lot in gold level. And then SumphoniC immediately killed it. That, I mean, geez, that's Showtime level stuff, man. That is excellent, SumphoniC. I really like what I saw there. Overseer gonna escape. Nope. Stalker picked that out of the sky very nicely. All right, what are we doing, actually? Blink being researched by SumphoniC. Going Blink Stalker against Zerg is just, it's iffy, man. It's an iffy thing to do. Although if it does get you up inside the main base and bypassing this wall that IvyMike's working on, maybe you're going to be okay. Hard to know. Anyway, third base up here for IvyMike, sitting on 38 harvesters. Both players starting to float a bit of money, close to 1,000 resources. Well, there's 1,000 resources for IvyMike on the minerals, and 1,800 for SumphoniC. Dude, SumphoniC, you need to warp in some stuff. He's got a nice little zealot Stalker army here. Now, here's the thing. Gateway units, actually not all that impressively good against Zerg. Oh. Actually killed a forward pylon there of SumphoniC. Didn't get the cancel off. If you have a building that's under attack while it's being constructed, press escape on it, and it will cancel, and you'll get a lot of money refunded back instead of just losing it. Although SumphoniC is still sitting on 1,600 resources, so... Is he trying to go for like a weird 2-gate, 7-base, or 7-gate thing? 2-base, 7-gate, sort of. Well, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like a 6-gate timing. Which, in Heart of the Swarm and Wings of Liberty was actually pretty good. But things have changed. The meta has changed, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm pretty sure IvyMike's ready for this. Look at him tossing up spine crawlers. He's got lings. He's got hydras. You kind of want to put the hydras and queens behind the spines, though, if you can. Oh, getting some ravagers, too. I love the tech that IvyMike is coming up with right now. All of this stuff is very, very good against Gateway, lings, hydras, ravagers. I mean, honestly, yeah, Zerg stuff is good against Gateway units, although that is a lot of zealots, and they're getting charged. It's almost done, too. About 60-70% complete here. Forward pylons here for SumphoniC. Okay, trick. Your warp in time with your warp gate on this pylon is 16 seconds. Unless you build a gateway or a nexus touching the power boundary, and then it drops to 2 seconds. I don't think SumphoniC knows this. I don't think he's aware of this little Protoss life hack that you can do. Oh, but he is tossing up some shield batteries. Maybe this isn't for warping. Maybe this is for something else. Maybe this is for a contain. Okay, all right. I'm on board here. I am absolutely 100% on board with what SumphoniC is trying to do. He does know it's Legacy of the Void. The presence of the shield battery is useful here. Corrosive Vials going down. Oh my goodness gracious. Stalkers at the back. Oh yes, IvyMike not waiting for the shield batteries to come up here. Banelings exploding on top of all of the stuff here. Stalkers getting surrounded on 3 sides by lings. Good blink out. The shield batteries actually finish. Whoa, shield batteries finish here. Another warp-in of SumphoniC. Slow warp-in. As you can see, the warp prism, though, if you put down its warp field, the warp-in is 2 seconds. So you definitely want to do that. Wow. Okay, that was going really well for IvyMike. And then the Shieldy boys, as my co-caster Jordan from the Gauntlet Global Open, I cast with him most Sundays, likes to say, the Shieldy boys really saved the day for SumphoniC. He was this close to losing all of his stuff. All of it. IvyMike continuing to make hydras. He did Grooved Spines. Is that one done? I think I saw that get done. Yes, Grooved Spines is done. Warp Prism. Whoa, okay. Warp Prism, not very cautious, flies past the natural base, gets picked out of the sky by hydras. Okay, now SumphoniC, you're sitting here with mostly gateway units. That is not going to cut it against the Zerg player. It's just not. It used to be. You could 4-gate them with gateway units and win until players figured out how to stop that. And then gateway units just really were never it. Even the 7-gate attacks that I was talking about previously in Heart of the Swarm, you had Colossus in there. It wasn't just gateway units. All right, Stalkers pushing on in here. +2, +1 on the upgrades is really good. IvyMike doesn't have any attack or armor upgrades, which is going to help SumphoniC here immensely. Well, picks off the Overseer. Is he worried about Dark Templar? I don't know. Third base is done for SumphoniC back home, so we're 3 base to 3 base right now. IvyMike is just worried about staying alive, which is problematic for him. He needs to tech up. He needs to break out of this thing. He needs to put some pressure on SumphoniC back home. SumphoniC's up 44 to 40 total harvesters right now. Sure, IvyMike has more army supply, but the shield's going to even the score quite a bit. Warp Prism, warp some stuff in. Oh, these Lings snuck out. Where do these Lings come from? Oh, the front door is wide open. No, SumphoniC, you can't leave the front door open against this. All right, man. Lings getting on in here. You got to warp in some stuff to defend. You got to warp in some Zealots to defend. Zealots with the upgrades they have would be fantastic here. I don't know if the probes can handle this. Oh, you know what? Maybe they can. By golly, they did. Even killing the Baneling that tried to morph right inside their front mineral line. Good job, probes. Way to not panic and warp in units when he didn't have to, I guess, SumphoniC. Okay, Warp Prism is totally visible right here. The Hydras, I think the Hydras and the Lings are on the same hotkey. Actually, are there any hotkeys except for hatcheries for IvyMike right now? I don't think there are. No, just the hatcheries, all on a hotkey. Sonic Storm coming in from SumphoniC. I'm glad that he recognized that he needs some splash damage to deal with this. Splash against Hydras and Lings and Banelings is so good. And you're not going to win a straight-up engagement with just Stalkers right here. Now, here's the thing. The number, this is it. This is a win for IvyMike. If he just A moves on this, yes, I know there's a single shield battery and a cannon. But I think you just A move and go. How are the upgrades looking? Still pretty bad for IvyMike. Really should have +1 something by now, but doesn't. And SumphoniC working on +3 ground weapons at 11 minutes, you guys. That's pretty good stuff out of the SumphoniC here. All right, IvyMike, what are we doing here? Getting a Lurker Den. Making a ton of drones, recognizing he hasn't been droning all that much. He's been so afraid of being attacked. And he's going to be able to saturate all 3 of his bases here, but still no 4th base. If you're on equal footing versus a Protoss player, you are in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble here. I don't know if you want to go in with these Stalkers, dude. And again, I love the upgrades. I like what you're doing. Okay, here are the High Templar. Storm is done. They don't have the energy for it quite yet. Oh, by golly, they do. All right. Some storms are going to be really useful here. I like that SumphoniC didn't just storm blindly. Just didn't panic storm, right? He knew IvyMike wasn't going to commit there, or at least he didn't want to commit his storm until the attack was committed. So going to make a single Archon, let this High Templar get his energy up, get more storm going. Several Templar are here. This slow warping is killing me for SumphoniC. I guess it doesn't really matter, right? Because the cooldown on the warp gates is such that it's not like a 2-second warp. It means you can immediately warp in stuff anyway. 16-second warping is fine. It's just in emergencies, you really wish you had them. All right, Lurkers burrowing in here for IvyMike. Goodbye, shield battery. Crikey, mate. Hydras, pick off that cannon, retreat back into this. Are these Lurkers going to be enough here? I'd love to see some storms from SumphoniC. He does get some storms down on the Lurkers. They can't dodge. It doesn't do a ton of damage to them. Oh, man, the Stalkers are just getting torn apart by these Lurkers, though. The bonus damage they do against armored stuff, and the Stalkers are armored mechanical units here. Yes, IvyMike, it looks like, is broken out. Warp Prism going down. Forward pylons going down. It's 128 to 84 total supply. IvyMike says, I don't need a 4th base. SumphoniC is getting a 4th base, though. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. He's just committed so much into Stalkers here, and they're just not good against Hydras or Lurkers. Where'd my Lurkers go? Are they all dead? No, they came with. IvyMike brought the Lurkers. The front door of SumphoniC is wide open. Once again, if the Lurkers can burrow right about here, prevent reinforcements from doing much about this. Lurkers do burrow. Cybernetics core. Target fire down. IvyMike really doing exceptionally well right here. Robotics facility ends up dying too. Ling's trying to join the party, getting picked at by Stalkers as they run on by. A storm trying to get rid of these Lurkers. Is there any detection? No detection here at all. All of them are gone, and SumphoniC taps out. That is a good game from the Protoss player. IvyMike is victorious here in 13 minutes and 38 seconds. Apparently, he wants to stick around. So you know what? We will let him do that. We generally let our victors continue to do stuff. Did I actually select the unbuildable bricks? I did. That's why players take them down, so they don't accidentally select them like that. All right, so IvyMike decides that his win condition is going to be Lurker. I feel like he could have broken out a little bit sooner. SumphoniC eventually went for the splash damage. Didn't quite use it when he needed to, right? He didn't quite use it when he had the advantage to do it. Once the Lurkers were out, it's going to be a lot harder for him to do stuff. A lot harder for him to keep that contained going. A lot harder for him to push. Back in Brood War, Storm took down Lurkers to about 20% health. It was really good. But Storm now against Lurkers of today, I mean, maybe takes 25% off of the Lurker health. It's much, much different. Much, much different here. Ling's rolling on the 3rd base of SumphoniC. Man, he still wants to kill all of the things. But yeah, again, upgrades could have been better here for IvyMike. I'd recommend getting at least +1/+1 of something, either Lings or Hydras. And the +1 ground carapace upgrade is shared anyway. Anyway, all right, so that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Mid-Rank Madness. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.
Ascensions before us. Our honor guides us. Me with you, you with me. We are as one. Justice. Our duty is unending. I feel your presence. We are as one. I sense a soul. A soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala Adu. Ascension is before us. Our honor guides us. Me with you, you with me. We are as one. I sense a soul. A soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala Adu. Sense a soul. A soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala Adu. I sense a soul. A soul Shala